friends, we are going to be reviewing some of our patterns that we learned in our last unit. So let's talk about all of the facts that we have learned thus far. We have learned our 0 facts. We know when we see a problem such as this, 0 times 4, we know that 0 is the hero here, right? This is the 0 property of multiplication. The 0 property of multiplication applies here because it states any number times 0, any number, it could be 4,000 times 0, equals 0, no matter what. 0 times any number equals itself. Bloop. That's the same for in commutative property. Remember, we have commutative property in multiplication, meaning we can reverse the factors in any order and it gives us the same answer. Well, it's the same for 4 times 0. It's the same 0 property applies here. 0 times any number, no matter where it is 0. That's our zeros in a nutshell. So we know our 0 facts for sure. We also know our 1s. 1 times 6. 1 times 6 is 6 because the identity 1 property of multiplication states that 1 times any number is itself. So meaning that other factor, like in this case 6, it's like that factor is looking in the mirror and it sees itself. Anytime a number is with 1, any number, it could be 1 times 62. It is like that number is looking in the mirror and it sees itself. 1 times any number is the number you are timesing 1 by. Okay? So 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 9 is 9, and so forth. Uber easy. Remember, anytime a number is with 1, it's like it is looking in the mirror and it sees itself. 1 times 10, 10. 1 times 2, 2. Let's talk about more multiplication patterns we know. Let's talk about our 2's tables. Let's do 2 times 6. We know that if we know 2 times 6, we also know 6 times 2 because of commutative property. So, now, think about this. What patterns do we know about 2? Well, we know a few. We know that multiples of 2 are all even numbers because you can solve 2 facts or 2 times tables by counting by 2's. That's one way. So say I wanted to know what 2 times 6 was by counting by 2's. We go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I use those dots to help me stop. I know that when I need to stop skip counting when I get to 6. You can do that on your fingers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. But there's a faster way, and we know this. Whenever we see 2 as a factor, we look at this other number. Oops, in this case it's 6. And we know we just double that bad boy. We see 6. We know we could double 6 and we get 12. Remember, it's a 2-for-1 deal. If you know 1, you know another fact. It's the same for 6 times 2. Because of commutative property, we actually know a lot more facts. When you learn 1 fact, you're actually learning 2. So we also know that 6 times 2 is also 12. Let me erase this. That works. That pattern works for any number you're multiplying 2 by. If you look at 8 times 2, and remember, 2 for 1 deal. We know 8 times 2. We also know 2 times 8. Do not forget that. That's going to help you with your 100 facts challenge today. And I'm going to give you some tips. We're going to talk about some tips in completing that challenge. So, 8 times 2. 2 is a factor. 2 is a factor. Remember, factors are numbers we multiply. So, 2 is a factor. When we see 2 as a factor, we know we can double that other factor and get our product. So, double that 8, 16. 2 times 8 is also 16. That's the same for any number. That pattern continues. Let's do 10. 10 times 2. 10 times 2. We also know 2 times 10. What do we have to do? Double that 10. 20. 20. 2 times 4. We know 2 times 4. We also know 4 times 2. You know one fact, you know the reverse. 2 times 4, double that 4. 8. 8. 2's fairly easy. Way faster to do that than counting by 2's. But knowing more than one way to solve a problem, nothing wrong with that. Next, we learned our 5's. Here's 7 times 5. And here's 5 times 7. We know both of these if we know one. With our 5's, we know all multiples of 5 either end in a 0 or 5 because you can use skip counting to find your answer. So whenever we see a 5 as a factor, we know we can definitely skip count by 5's, right? We know that all multiplication is repeated addition. If you have equal groups, you can do repeated addition, like 5 groups of 7 or 7 groups of 5. 7 groups of 5, you can skip count by 5 to find the answer. So you have groups of 5 here. And both of these, you can make groups of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that using my dots up here. Now I'm going to draw a dot up to 7. I'm going to draw up to 7 dots because I'm going to skip count up to 7. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm going to stop. I stop skip counting. Why? Because 7 is my other factor. If I'm using skip counting to multiply, I need to stop skip counting when I reach my other factor here, which is 7. What did I get? That last number I skip counted will be my answer. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. The answer is 35. I know 7 times 5 is 35. I also know 5 times 7 is 35. This is true for any number times 5. Let's do 9 times 5. We know 9 times 5. What other fact do we know? You've got it. 5 times 9. What can I do? I can skip count to find the answer. I'm going to skip count by 5 because 5 is my factor. I'm going to stop my skip count at 9 when I reach 9 fingers. In this case, 9 dots because that is what I am multiplying 5 to. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. I'm going to stop. Why am I stopping? Because I reached 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why I stopped. What number did I stop on? Let's skip count again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 9 times 5 is 45. So is 5 times 9. We'll do one more 5s because I want you to get really fast at knowing your 5s. Try to memorize your 5s too. All right, let's look at 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3? If you know 5 times 3, you also know 3 times 5. Let's skip count to find out. I'm going to skip count by 5 because I have 5 as my factor. I'm going to stop at 3 because 3 is my other factor. I have 5, 10, 15. 15 is my product. Remember, a product is and always will be the answer to a multiplication problem. So that's my 5 facts. Moving right along to our 9s. Oh, I love the 9s. They're my favorite. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. I can count by 9s easily. So don't give up on 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. I can count by 9s easily. So don't give up on me. These are all the multiples of 9 up to 10. We know a very, very nice pattern with multiples of 9. We know that all of these multiples of 9, first of all, if we take this multiple of 9, for instance, 72, and we add 7 and 2 together, we would get 9. And that's true for all of them. Look at 81. If we add that 8 and 1 together, we would get 9. Even for 90, it works. 9 plus 0 is 9. It works for every multiple of 9 up to 10. 1 plus 8, 9. 2 plus 7, 9. 3 plus 6, 9. 4 plus 5, 9. 5 plus 4, 9. 6 plus 3, 9. We know that. That will help us solve our 9s facts. We also know in our 9s facts, I'm going to put these in order. We know for our 9s facts, I'm just going to stop when I get to the end, right here. We know for our 9s facts, we know the first digit in our product. We know the first digit in our product is going to be one less than the factor that we are multiplying 9 with. So what's 1 less than 1 here? 0. And then I think to myself, well, what can I add to 0 to make 9? Since all the multiples of 9 up to 10 equal 9 when you add them together. 9, of course. Now, we really follow the identity 1 property for this one, but it's fun to see how the pattern still fits in even with that one. Here we go. What's 1 less than 2? What's 1 less than 2? Basically, what's 2 minus 1? You know that. It's 1. Now you think to yourself, what plus 1 equals 9? That's easy. 8. Look at that. This is so much fun. I love number patterns. What's 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is 2. Well, what can we add to 2 to get 9? 2 plus 7, my friends, is 9. Look at this one. What is 1 less than 4? Basically, 4 minus 1 is 3. What can I add to 3 to get 9? Let's think about it. 6. And if you have to count on, do it. Better safe than sorry. Let's try counting on for this next one. What's 1 less than 5? 4. Oh, what can I add to 4 to get 9? Grab that 4, say 4, and then add those fingers up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You should have 5 fingers standing. What's 1 less than 6? 5. What plus 5 is 9? 4. Huh. Very fun. The 9s are extremely fun. So you can look at any 9s fact in any order, because let's look at 9 times 8. If you know 9 times 8, you also know 8 times 9. We can solve this quickly. We can solve this super quickly. All we have to do is look at the factor. In this case, that's not 9. Oh, what's 1 less than that? Oh, that's 7. All right, what can I add to 7 to get 9? 7, 8, 9, 2. And that would make this also 72. All right, we are down to our last pattern that we talked about in Unit 2, and that's our tens. That's our tens. Let's look at 7. Ooh, it's an interesting shape. Let's look at 7 times 10. If we know 7 times 10, we also know 10 times 7. Interesting fact about our tens, whenever we see 10 as a factor, we know we can skip count by tens to find the answer, just like we do with 5s. But here's an even faster way. This is a faster way. So we know the pattern of 10 is, when we look at 7 times 10, we take the factor we are multiplying by 10 by, and we put that as our first digit. That's going to be the first number in our product. And then this is all you have to do. Add a 0. And you get 70. You want to check your answer? Count by tens till you get to 7. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It works every time. It works every time. Let's try another one. This is much faster than skip counting. Are you ready for this? Let's do 9 times 10. We know 9 times 10. We also know 10 times 9. All right, what do we have to do? We take that factor that's not 10 in this case. We plop it in there as our first digit in our product, and we add a 0 in the ones place. Boom, done. It's 90. You don't believe me? Double check it. Skip count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 90. Let's do another one. Let's do 6 times 10. And we can do, if we know 6 times 10, we also know 10 times 6. What do? I know, Sue. You take the factor that's not 10 in this case, you plop it in as your first digit and add a 0 in your ones place, and you have your answer. 6 times 10 is 60, and 10 times 6 is 60. All right, we are going to move on, and what you're going to do is do your 100 facts challenge, and this is what I am going to suggest you to do. When you do your 100 facts challenge, I want you to do exactly this. I want you to complete all your 0 facts first. Do all of your 0 facts first. I'm telling you, it's going to save you time. Then, this is what I want you to do next. This is a strategy. I want you to do all your ones facts, because you know those. You know all your ones facts. And know that if you know 0 times 2, you also know 2 times 0. So do all your 0 facts first. That's 2 facts. 2 facts each, okay? For each number up to 9. You're gonna get so many more than you normally do. Then I want you to do your ones next, and then I want you to decide from there what is easiest, 2s, 5s, or 9s. And I want you to pick which one you want to conquer first. If it was me, I would conquer my 2s. then my 5s, and then my 9s. Okay? See how many of these you can get right. That's your mission. All right. I cannot wait to see how much you grow